Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Jyoti Sapru, and I want to thank Pinky Mind for organizing this webinar. It's the need of the hour, I feel. People like us can reach out to the society. Thank you so much, Pinky Mind, for having us. And also, I want to congratulate each and every participant who has taken out their precious time and taken this step of coming forward and attending this webinar. The topic of the webinar is the effect of COVID-19 on the mental health of students. And myself, Jyoti Sapru, I am a psychological counselor and I do a lot of work, especially nowadays in the lockdown during the pandemic. There are a lot of mental health issues. So we are doing most of our work online. And I have been attached to a lot of corporates like Siemens HRD. Then I was working for various academic organizations as a counselor. I have worked with many institutions in Kolkata, and I have done my counseling course from various universities and been in this field for last 10 years. So I feel with all the knowledge and wisdom and experience I've gathered, I am able to come up with this webinar, and all of you will take something positive out of this today. You will go back home a richer and a happier person. Thank you so much, Pinky Mind, for having me. And let us all join hands and deal with this crisis that has come to us all of a sudden, and try to make the best we can and move on with our lives to the best of our abilities. We are all here to help you, and please enjoy the webinar. At the end of my presentations, you will be free to ask me questions related to the topic. So welcome everybody, and thank you again for taking out time and joining us today. Thank you, Pinky Mind. Okay, here we go. The effects of coronavirus on the mental health of students and how we are getting into this on a daily basis, and how we can connect with students on a daily basis and help them come out of it on a daily basis. The UNESCO Director General, Audrey Azoulay, warned that the global scale and speed of the current educational disruption is unparalleled. The coronavirus disease 2019, that is called the COVID-19 pandemic, and the social distancing measures that many countries have implemented have caused disruptions to daily routines. As of April 8, 2020, schools have been suspended nationwide in 188 countries, according to UNESCO. Over 90% of enrolled learners, which is around 1.5 billion young people worldwide, are now out of education. So I hope you can understand the gravity of the problem. And it's so important to know that the children are now suffering from various kinds of issues. It is not always that we have to be having a mental issue. Absolutely normal people like you and me can also go into depression, can also have anxiety, can also have psychological stress. And if we do not know how to handle these things, on a daily basis, like I'm repeating again and again, then this frequency will increase, the intensity will increase, and it will linger on for weeks and days and months until it becomes a major psychological problem. So we must nip it in the bud. We must deal with it as soon as we sense any kind of danger in us, in our children, in our family, in our friends. We must help people reach out, be positive, be strong, and stay safe. So these are the kind of mental issues that the students are facing. Number one, anxiety. Anxiety, I mean, y'all can write in the chat boxes. Let's make it more interactive. What do you know about anxiety? What do you think anxiety is actually? If anybody understands anxiety, is anybody going through anxiety? Please do write in the chat box and we will take it up. Basically, it's a feeling. It's a feeling of worry, of nervousness, or an uneasy feeling, you know, about uncertainty. This pandemic came overnight. All of a sudden, we were just told there is a lockdown, don't go out. That is it. We were not prepared. We were not geared. We were not educated. So when something happens like this, which is uncertain, which is, you know, we are not sure when it will end. There is no definite date that on this day the pandemic will be gone from our lives. We are dealing with it indefinitely. So these things do cause a feeling of worry, a feeling of uneasiness, and that is what we call anxiety. So I think somebody has reacted. We'll take it up. In the meantime, let us also understand that once we have anxiety, then what happens? There is a lot of psychological stress. We can't sleep, we can't eat, we can't be, you know, like we were going to schools, we were going to colleges, we were coming back home, then we were going to clubs or having a sport activity or doing something for our own upliftment, for our own de-stressing. Why do we say de-stressing? Because we all do feel stressed. So we need to de-stress, and we used to do different kind of activities to de-stress ourselves. But now all of a sudden we can't do any of those activities. So we are feeling completely stressed out psychologically, and this leads to depression. Depression is something which is highly misunderstood. We feel that I don't have depression because I'm happy. I don't have depression because I'm laughing. I don't have depression because I'm doing my normal activities. But no, anybody and everybody goes through depression in different phases of their life. Maybe the intensity and the frequency of depression is very less. Maybe we are able to come out of it in a strong way. But we do go through depression. We do go through anxiety. We do have psychological stress. And please understand, our children, whether they are teenagers, whether they are school children, whether they are college goers, they have their own stresses. And e-learning, online learning, having to, you know, have coaching classes on the phone, on the laptop is not easy. It's not same as going to school or going to college and meeting your friends in flesh and blood. But definitely the way they have handled the situation, the way we have had lockdowns, we've had unlock, and then we've again had lockdowns. We all know that these situations are here to stay now. This is the new normal. So we are trying to coach our children to the best of our ability to deal with this crisis in a very, very positive way. Now, what does the child do? What can the child do at home? They usually get angry. For no reason, you would see the children are getting angry. They are frustrated. Their needs are not being met. This is not a mental illness. It's just basically they are, kind of manifesting their frustration in this form of behavior. They do get angry, they do get irritable because we are repeatedly telling them things which they may not like. And having to see the same faces again and again, day after day, is very irritating. So they do tend to get angry on small little petty things, which we may seem is no reason. For them, it's a big reason. And they are very irritable. They are emotionally exhausted. Can you imagine being like this online, on phone, on a laptop for 24 hours? They are not sleeping. They are talking on the phone. They are having video calls. They are having classes on video calls. They are practically getting no rest for the mind. The brain is exhausted. Their emotions are exhausted. They are basically confused. They don't know how to deal with this situation. They are not able to sleep properly, and they are having tremendous mood swings. Mood swings, they may try to make themselves understand, okay, now I have to calm down and do my activity. But again, the frustration forces them to lose control, and they might have mood swings. So we as adults, as experienced people, should understand these symptoms are normal. This is not a mental illness. This is not a major mental issue until it continues for months. If it happens for a short while and then the child is normal, there's no need to worry. But if the child is having this for last 6 months or 4 months or 3 months, then definitely you need the help of a mental health professional. And let me tell you, the trauma that the students are going through now is only the tip of the iceberg. Once, maybe whenever the schools and colleges reopen, the post-traumatic stress symptoms that they might exhibit that time, the fear of the disease leaching onto them, the fear of going back to school, going back to college, we have to instill a lot of self-esteem, self-confidence, and make them realize that they can do this and this too shall pass. So these are the different kinds of problems that the children are facing, the adults are facing, because we are all stuck with each other and at home. Like I said in my first presentation, this is a global pandemic and it's really getting difficult for the children. Their frustrations are being manifested in different ways, and we need to help them. As the adults of the society, we are all one. We need to come together in this hour of need and work together so that our next generation is well equipped to handle these issues. They're mentally fit and they're physically fit. It is our responsibility.